Men's basketball got the sweep of the Louisiana schools 50-45 on Thursday at ULM. 66-65 the victory over the Cajuns on Saturday. They look ahead to the homestand against the Alabama schools. And for the insight, the scoop, the everything, welcome in our buddy JT Crabtree, the voice of the South Alabama Jaguars. What's up, bud?
What's going on, guys? Good to see y'all.
I feel like we just did this.
We did 3 weeks ago.
That's what I was saying. You texted me. I was like, was that just on there? But cool. I'll come back on. That's fun.
You look at this team, 15-6, 5-3 in conference play, and something that we talked about 3 weeks ago leading into the first matchup for Georgia Southern and South Alabama was, were you going to have Turbo Jones? It ended up you didn't have him back that weekend. It was the next weekend when you got him back. What has really been the difference now that you have him back on your roster?
We have a PG. We have a point guard for the first time just about all season. You know, he played the first game against Spring Hill, did okay, and then he broke his foot at Wichita in game 2 and hadn't played since. And so really Manning and Chandler have been the point guards so far this year. And so now he's back, and he's a true pass-first facilitator. He does some good things defensively. I think he's tried a little too much on the offensive side, personally trying to score the last couple of games. I mean, he didn't have a great game on Saturday against Troy. He played 20 minutes and got 2 points and had 2 more turnovers than he had assists. So not his best effort last time out. But I think having him back, you've seen a more fluid offense of what we wanted to do at the start of the season. You see Chandler being able to move away from the ball a lot more. You see Charles Manning able to play in some space without the ball, which is where he's the most dangerous. You look at the assist and turnover numbers since Turbo's been back, they've dropped the turnovers have dropped a 1.5 turnovers per game less since Turbo's come back. Yet Manning himself, since Turbo's been back, has been plus 10 in assist to turnover ratio, which you think to when he was running as the point guard, he was averaging like between 7 and 9 turnovers a game, but he had to because he had to have the ball in his hands so often. And so now being able to play away from the ball more and find some openings has really helped him out. I'm really curious to see how we look against a team that we've already seen this year that hasn't seen Turbo. And so coming up with you guys on Thursday, I'm really curious to see how much of an adjustment it is, not only from us, but from you guys, how y'all play against us with a new guy probably in the starting lineup coming up on Thursday.
The last 5 games, it's only been 3 weeks, but looking at some of the numbers, reading some boxes, 1, it looks like you've ramped up the zone a little bit, and 2, you're killing people with fast break points.
Yeah, that's true. We have definitely mixed in the 2-3 zone a lot more. We're still getting beat pretty bad on the glass, especially last time out against Troy. And so the 2-3 is, we're saying, okay, you're not going to beat us down low. We're going to do our best that we can. And if you hit some threes, whatever. That's really the mantra of the team that it was when we had that great run at the end of the 1920 season going in the pandemic, was we switched exclusively 2-3 zone. We didn't care if you hit 18 threes on us. We're not going to give up any points in the paint. And it's kind of trending a little bit more that way right now. They want to play man. They want to press. But just the guys that we have seem to play better in zone. And so we've been doing that a little bit more lately. The transition game you're talking about, I think that is a direct correlation to having Turbo back. That's what we wanted to do all season. And the dude's namesake, he's quick. He wants to push the ball himself. He's pretty impressive when he gets out in a full sprint. I think for the first time all year, Saturday, we saw him in a full one end to the other sprint on a fast break himself, and he scored points. But I think his speed and the athleticism of Manning and Franklin and Chandler as well, I think have played really well. And please excuse Pepper barking up front. He can hear me and he wants to be on the podcast. So there's a shout out.
Come on now. Talk about J.J. Chandler a little bit, and he kind of seems like this year he has been almost the second fiddle to Charles Manning. It's been Manning and Chandler. When you're talking about Manning, he comes up in conversation, but he's not the focal point. But he's somebody watching not only the Georgia Southern game, but the game that I got to do for you, being able to see him he's pretty impressive and had a really impressive number against Georgia Southern last time out, and it's a stat that doesn't get a whole lot of publicity as far as basketball is concerned, but the plus-minus, you use it in hockey a lot, but he was plus 15 against Georgia Southern.
Yeah, he's good, man. And like you said, he gets overlooked a lot because you have a guy like Charles Manning who's second in the conference in points per game, and even a guy like Javon Franklin with his highlight dunks. He sometimes is the bigger name over Chandler sometimes. But JJ is just so steady, man. He's so consistent. He scored at least 10 points in 18 straight games. He had 20 points last time out, but 18 of them came in the second half. It was a loss on Saturday, but it would have been a lot worse without JJ's performance. He's just steady. And we got a real big scare on Saturday where he had a non-contact injury where he pivoted and then he turned, he jumped, he landed awkwardly on his knee, and he crumbled. And he immediately held his left knee, and we're thinking, oh, my God, if we lose JJ, that could be the end of this run that we want to make. Because, yes, you want to have Manning, you want to have Franklin, you want to have everybody else. But really, JJ's consistency night in and night out, and just the ability that he knows his role of, I'm going to get the ball when they give it to me. When I get it, I've got to make the most of it. He's done a really good job, really since conference play started, of not trying to do too much with the ball, not trying to make some kind of crazy highlight play, although he did at ULM try and throw an alley-oop off the glass, and that did not work. Richie Riley said he thought he was in the NBA All-Star game for a minute. But, aside from that, he's pretty consistent. I think that's what's been the key for him, is that he doesn't try and do too much. He's pretty solid defensively, too. He's really been, it's a zoo over here, man.
Not the first time we've experienced this with you.
Yeah, I was going to say, at least it's not like the summer Zoom during COVID where the cat was attacking me and then my wife was being attacked by a raccoon in the backyard.
That's right.
And now the cat's eating something. I don't know what is happening. What are you eating? That's an electrical cord. Don't eat that.
Going to turn into the cat on National Lampoons.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. Welcome to Jag Nation, guys. Yeah, here we go.
There she goes.
There's the cat. You brought up we'll bring it back here. You brought up Javon Franklin a little bit earlier. He's 12-7 on the season, but since conference play began, 15-9. He's top 5 in blocks and steals. How's he made the jump?
Yeah, I mean, the dude just wanted an opportunity. He was at Auburn for 2 years. It just never got a shot. And what's crazy to think is that this is a guy that hasn't contributed any meaningful minutes since JUCO. Since he was at Holmes JUCO, and he's finally getting an opportunity, and that's all he wanted. He just wanted a chance to go out and play and show why he was the Arkansas 6A Player of the Year out of high school. He's a good ball player, and what's so impressive about him is that he can defend everywhere. He's not just a post guy. He stands at 6'7", but he can run with a guard. He can stretch out there. He doesn't shoot like a guard, but he's done a very good job of, he knows his role is to eat up time in the paint, make sure nobody scores anything easy over the top of him, just contest everything, and get a highlight big-time dunk or a putback every now and then to fire up the guys. He's been kind of the adrenaline rush for the team this year. Is, you don't get the big threes here and there this year with this team because we're not a great three-point shooting team. He provides the big-time plays and the momentum plays that we need when we need to make a comeback or try and stretch something out.
When you talk about big-time plays and momentum plays, the thing I think of is watching your videos after the game of you and Joe calling the game. Is Joe McNulty making the trip with you?
No, he's not. He'll be in the studio, but he won't be on the trip. So he's South grad himself, just like me. He's he turns 26 in about a month. Dude knows his basketball. He loves his Jags, man, and he'd travel to every game if he could. But we always make the joke that it's a big-time game when Joe McNulty's on the road. So I guess this week's not a big-time game.
Well, if you've got the camera
Joking, of course.
on you, is there a camera in the studio on him whenever stuff happens?
There's not. We haven't thought about that. That's a good point. We could hook something up like that.
See, Dr. Erdman?
Yeah. Hold on. Let me make a call real quick. Excuse me, guys. Yeah. We need to buy one GoPro, please.
That's all. Just one GoPro.
You know, the last time that you came to Statesboro for basketball, you were a little hobbled.
Oh God. It was that trip. It was that trip. I forgot.
Your ankle was as big as my knee when you came here.
Oh man, I forgot about that. And I'm rocking a sweet court burn from 3 weeks ago at Lafayette too, because I made the dumb decision of playing in the manager's basketball game, and I will never do that again.
Did you score?
No, I had what, 2 steals and assists. I was 0 for 1 shooting and a sweet court burn for diving after a loose ball. So I played baseball growing up. Give me a dirt scrape all day long, because this court burn sucks, man. But to your point, last year, and I'm not even a clumsy person. This makes me sound like I am. Last year, like 2 days before we're hitting the road to come to you guys, I fell down the stairs at my in-laws' house, and my toe took the brunt of it. And yeah, it was ugly, man. I thought I'd shattered my foot. And I asked our trainer when I got to actually drove to Statesboro on the foot, which probably wasn't the smartest decision, then walked around Savannah for the next day. But I asked our trainer and said, what do you think this is? And he said, well, can you bend it? I'm like, not really. So can you walk on it? Yeah. It's turf toe. You'll be fine. So I can check that box. Turf toe. I've had it. It's not fun. Don't recommend it.
Between turf toe and court burn, that you got right there.
Right here, man. What else am I going to do, man? Like, I'm not going to sit in the hotel room all day.
No, especially not when you come to Statesboro.
No, I got to go. That's what I got to figure out what I'm going to do when I come see you guys this week. Where are we going?
I don't know, but I promise you will not get court burn wherever we're going.
Thank goodness, because who knows what's on the floor at Hanner over the years.
That's a really shrewd point.
Yikes.
I never thought about that.
Yeah. JT, appreciate
it. Can't be as long as we don't have any smoke delays like we had at ULM.
Wait, hang on. Time out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Smoke delay.
You guys didn't hear about this?
Yeah, I saw this.
I missed this.
Yeah. All right, Colin. So we tip off, or before tip off, actually, ULM does the old school 1x1 starter intros out of the tunnel 1 by 1. And as they come out, they shoot smoke down the tunnel at good old Fant Ewing. Well, you guys know Fant Ewing probably doesn't have the best circulation air-wise in the place. And so we are ready for tip-off, and it looks like the 13th hole at St. Andrews on a dewy morning for the Open Championship. It is. We had to stop. We were ready to go, and then the official said, "No, we can't play in this." And actually, Richie Riley asked the folks at the scores table, "Hey, is this normal? Does this normally happen?" They said, "No, it's the first time. Probably be the last time too." So I would agree. I don't know if they've done it. Danny, did they do it? Did they do it last weekend?
They did, but it wasn't as bad.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess it's still there, but
I think Coach Vining. Said something to him, and whatever Coach Vining says something down there, you just kind of do it.
Gotcha. Yeah. So as long as we don't have any smoke delays, as long as the lights turn on before kickoff, and as long as I don't burn my legs, then we'll be fine.
2 out of 3 is not bad.
I mean, it's the best we can do.
JT, appreciate the time. Looking forward to seeing you this week, bud.
You bet it, guys. Thanks for having me on.
Hey, man.
Oh, JT Crabtree. It doesn't get a whole lot better than that.
I'd forgotten that Hancock Whitney lost power for the
I did too. I did too. I guarantee you didn't.
That's the night that Kane Womack went out and I think took pictures and signed autographs because they were waiting around for about an hour and a half or something.
Yeah. And that was a game that almost didn't happen.
Yeah, because Alcorn State, no trainers.
Right.
Yeah.